Yeah, hi there. Today I'd like to show you the way I tune my reeds for my accordion, and this is my tuning block right here, my tuning table. As you can see, it's a separate unit, has a fixed top on it, a fixed bottom. The top of the bellows is fixed to the top plate, but the bottom of the bellows is movable, and I move the bellows in and out with this handle on the side. And to use the table, I quickly clamp it to the bench. And we're ready to go. Now on the top of the table, I have a slider. This is a piece of wood which fits in a nice tight groove. And in the top of the table I have actually 3 holes, but mainly I use just 2, and the holes are the same size as in the bottom of a typical reed block. They don't have to be an exact size, but as you can see they're square holes, and I have 3 square holes here. In the slider I have 2 holes, and they're the same size as the reed block again. Put the slider across like this, and the purpose of the slider is that I can now have 1 hole only blowing air. Move the slider over, I can now have 2 holes blowing air. This bar here allows me very quickly, with a bit of luck, to place my reed block. If I want to tune this row of reeds here, I can quickly snug it up over 1 hole and snug it up using this bar. And now I can look at the rear reeds only. As you can see, it's very quick to work along a reed block. I don't have to move the top of the reed table, the tuning table. The reed block remains stationary. It does not move up and down like this, as you will see on many tuning tables, which I find really inconvenient. The reed block remains stationary. So I've just examined that whole rear row in 10 seconds or more, and I can quickly tell by ear which reeds may need adjusting. Now I need to look at the row that's closest to me. I can flip it over and go down the other row. Etc. Now the real beauty for me is that I can now use the slider to expose 2 holes and play both the low reed and the middle reed together. This, by the way, is a reed block from the bass side of an accordion. I'm now going to play the back row and the front row together. Now if you have a good ear, you can tell that that's pretty much in tune. That has a little rougher sound, so perhaps that would need a bit of examining to find out which reed is exactly wrong. Now to individually tune them, if I find something wrong with these reeds, I actually like to use a Dremel drill, which looks like this. And I use a drill bit which has a nice sort of steel, sharp steel ball on the top. I forget what they call them, a diamond tip drill or something like that. And I find this quicker and easier to use than scraping each individual reed. You can actually leave the reed block, as you know, if you tune reeds. If you want to lower a reed, you scratch at the bottom. If you want to raise the reed, you scratch on the top. Now, believe it or not, if I want to that's easy to work on the outside reeds. If I want to work on the inside reed, believe it or not, I actually flip over the reed block, insert the Dremel very carefully, and I can scratch the bottom of the reed. But you do have to be careful with that. You make a mistake and you can damage the reed. If I want to raise the reed, of course, I use a screwdriver into the back, lift up the leather very quickly, and just take a little bit off the tip of the reed. Now, there's one other major advantage for me. Using the table will let you quickly go up each row and identify which reeds need adjusting. But if you have a reed that is very difficult to tune, you may have to remove the reed completely from the reed block and have it separate. In which case, how do you then tune that? To tune that, I quickly snap this bar back, and I have this little device here, which I did not design, and I actually saw this on the internet too. It's a little place for holding the reed. Of course, it has a hole through the middle to let the air through. That sits over the holes in the top here, nice and snugly. The reed pops in here. Clamp it up. I can now listen to the reed at the top and the reed at the bottom and see which of those need to be tuned. I usually have my computer up the back here with software that tells me exactly how many cents wrong it is, either high or low, and I quickly adjust it again using my Dremel. Lower or scrape the top to raise. Having worked on an individual reed, you can then of course re-glue it back on the reed block when you're happy, and with a bit of luck it will work. So for me, having this type of a design where the top of the table remains stationary is a quick and easy way to tune your reeds in the easiest fashion possible. I hope you like it.